Hello and welcome to 2CrazyMedia. I'm your host Matthew, this is your co-host Jason, and today we're going to be finally giving our review of Forza Horizon 6. We've been wanting to wait to review this game for it to, us to play for a while, for it to be out for a good amount of time before we review it. Unlike many games that we've reviewed on the channel before, this is a game that both of us know that we both know that we're going to play this game for a while. With Forza Horizon 5, for example, I've been playing that game since launch and right up until FH6 had released. So these are games that both of us play forever and ever and ever and constantly have new pros and cons as they pop up, as with most live service games. So we wanted to wait a little bit for the game to kind of be in the world of this game, experience the game, have it in our hands and be able to play it for at least a month. And it is now basically a month since the game released. Just a few days from now will be officially a month since the release, so pretty crazy to think that we are already at a full month of having this game released in our hands for us to play. But we thought we'd take time to really just be able to experience the game and have as much to say as we want to, because this is a very big game for us and all that stuff, and we want to have a good review. And just a quick disclaimer on that, I have not played the game fully since I do not have an Xbox. I've said this many times on the channel before. My Xbox a while ago broke, and instead of getting a new one, I was like, I'll just stick to a PlayStation since Forza 5 is now on PlayStation, and Forza 6 will come later, which it is. It's just not out yet. So as soon as it releases on PlayStation later this year, I will play it and give a full review on the channel as well myself. But instead, you have played it and played a lot of it.
Yes.
And so this, instead, for the first time, you will be heading up the review instead of me heading it up. I have played the game. I've played it on his console. I've experienced it. I've gone through, played a couple hours of it. So I have my own stuff to say, and I can back you up on everything. But this is going to be a you-led review. So before we get into your actual thoughts, let's just jump straight into some quick details about the game. So Forza Horizon 6 is developed by Playground Games. They are a developer who is owned by Xbox. So this is an Xbox first-party title. And most of their games are just Forza. They've been developing Forza games since Forza Horizon 1 in 2012. They've done every single Horizon game that is their series. And more recently, they're working on the new Fable game as well, which is very, very cool. And we cannot wait for that one. That looks awesome. So Forza Horizon 6 released just a month ago on May 19th. It is currently sitting on OpenCritic and Metacritic with a score of 91 on both, which makes it tied for the highest reviewed game of the year. It is tied currently with Mina the Holler, which also has a 91 on both OpenCritic and Metacritic. So that's awesome. It's really, really cool that this is like the highest reviewed game of the year so far. We'll see if anything beats it, but that's pretty cool for Horizon to do that. I know Horizon 5 did that back in 2021. It was actually the highest reviewed. No game beat it that year, but it's cool to see it do it again this year. Just shows how good of a franchise and how consistent of a franchise it is with reviewers. So how long have you spent playing the game?
So I have spent around a total of 43 hours playing the game, so
Nice.
almost a full 2 days.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's actually really solid. That's a nice few hours. Some of the platforms it is currently on. It is currently only on Xbox Series X and S and PC, and it is coming to PS5 later this year. So, and hopefully soon. I would love to get into it as soon as possible. I've been dying to actually fully get into it myself. You played it on a Xbox
Series S.
Yep.
And I'll get to that, especially
Yes.
about the console and the power of it, but yeah. I played
Okay,
it
yeah.
on Series S.
Excited to hear that. And finally, for a quick synopsis of Forza Horizon 6, Forza Horizon 6 is an open-world racing game set in Japan, featuring a sprawling map ranging from the massive urban streets of Tokyo to dense rural mountain passes. Players begin as a tourist and progress through the Horizon Invitational to become a Horizon legend, all managing a vast collection of over 550 real-world vehicles. So now is when I turn it to you to give your review, go over your pros, your cons. We'll kind of go over all the details, and we'll kind of go over each thing in particular, from the map to the cars to the selection to the customization to the progression, all that stuff, and also give a score out of 10. But I'm just gonna, before we get into everything more in detail, let's just start with your overall thoughts.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 6.
So there's a lot to say about the game because it is like a huge game. There's
Yes,
so much
there's a lot.
content, so much stuff. But just my overall quick thoughts on the game before I start getting into it. I think the game is amazing. It's my second favorite game of the year so far. I don't think it's beating Resident Evil 9 personally, but I think it's getting pretty close. I think the game is fantastic. It's, in my opinion, my favorite Forza game ever. I think it's great. I think that the game does so... It takes everything that the past Forza games has done well. I love 5. So it takes everything that game has done well and takes everything that game didn't do as well and makes it actually good.
Yeah.
So it becomes like a Forza game that has basically or little to no issues.
Yeah.
And it's just such a good game. They really cooked with it. I'll talk more about the map in detail, but I think the map is the best map in Forza Horizon history. I think you'd probably agree with me.
I think just from seeing it in YouTube videos and watching you play and driving around it myself for a little bit of time, I would agree. This seems like an amazing map, especially Tokyo.
Yeah, it is a great map. Tokyo City is easily the best city that's ever been in a Forza game.
Yep.
The map it's breathtaking. It's visually stunning. It's the landmarks are insane. It's huge. It's giant.
It's also really cool how vertical the map is.
Yes.
It's the most vertical map in a Forza in a Horizon game, and it's just so cool how vertical it is. The verticality is awesome. I think that's, from what I've seen and played so far, that's probably my favorite part of the map, is just the verticality alone.
Yeah, like the spot, like at the top of the map, or the giant mountains, and you look and you can see everything. You can see Tokyo City. You can see the whole map. And I love how wherever you are on the map, you can always see Mount Fuji in the distance, which is awesome. I wish you could go there, but I understand why you can't.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to see it in the distance there. And yeah, the map is fantastic. I think that the game is just great. The presentation is amazing. I think that the gameplay is better than ever, obviously. I mean, it's a Forza game. Everybody knows what they're going into. It's the best racing you're probably going to get out of any video game ever. And it's just even better here. It's amazing. The races are great. I do have a small problem with races, which I will get to, but it's just a small one. But yeah, the races are amazing. The tracks are great for the most part.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good track variety.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more to say, but we have to
Should we jump into some of the more
specifics?
Do you know one of the specific parts that you want to jump into first, like where you want to start?
I think what I want to start with is like the story and the races.
All right, let's start with the story. And do you want to do progression as well with that? All right, let's start with story.
Level up story. Yeah. Okay, so I thought the story, it's a Forza game. It's not gonna have like a story, but it's like a campaign.
Yeah.
So I thought it was good. I think that the way that you level up was done pretty well. You have to get points for wristbands. The more points you get doing races, the more points you build up to get a wristband. And
there's 2 different kinds of progression systems in there.
Yeah.
You've got Discover Japan and the Horizon Festival.
So Horizon Festival is the main campaign. Discover Japan is almost like a side mission, like a side campaign. Interesting. Which I still haven't finished Discover Japan. There's a lot of it, so I'm still working on that. But I have finished the main story, and I liked it. I thought it offered a lot of races, a lot of things to do. I never really got bored throughout the campaign. There was always something to do until the end, which I'll get to.
Yep.
But there was always something to do, because every time you'd unlock a new wristband, they give you a ton of stuff to do, and you would never run out, because by the time you run out of things, you unlock the new wristband, and you have a ton of other things to do. And I thought that was great. I thought that it was rewarding to level up wristbands and then be able to unlock and use more like cars and better cars. I think that was great.
Yeah, I really like that progression where instead of past Horizon games where it's like the first race in the campaign, you could just immediately jump into like a Lamborghini or like a Bugatti. In this game, it's like when you have your first wristband, on the Horizon races, you can only use like a B-class car or a C-class car, and then you move up with every wristband to a higher class, and I really like that progression. It feels like definitely something that a lot of people have been asking for.
Yeah, and but I think one of my biggest problems with the story is that by the end of it, when you're on the last wristband to get the gold wristband,
Yep.
The one before that, you need to get like, I'd say like maybe it was like 5,000, maybe 4,000 total points in order to get the wristband. But once you get to the last one before you get to the gold, you have to get like 15,000 points, which I thought was like insane. The jump was crazy. It was like that. I was like, this is gonna take forever, and it did take forever. It took me days to finish that, because the problem was they gave me a lot of races, but I did literally everything I possibly could on the map. And I still had thousands of points left to get. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? I've done this for so long, and I'm not even close. So I really just had to do anything I could. So that kind of slowed things down for me. I thought that was really lame. It just shot up. It just got extremely long and tedious just randomly.
Yeah.
And I thought that was bad. But once you get through it and you unlock Legend Island at the end of the game, which is very cool, then it feels very rewarding.
That's
because
good.
you unlock a little expansion to the map, which is cool.
Yeah, first Forza game to really
I thought that was a very good idea. And yeah, I think besides that, I think the story was done really well in this one.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Alrighty. Should we jump into the map next?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so the map, like I said, is beautiful. And I'll also talk about the visuals as well. But the map is amazing. I love how giant it is. I love how different every part of it feels. There's, the bottom of the map has the so much, like a huge drag strip, and then next to it is Tokyo City. Tokyo City is gigantic and amazing. And like all the bridges and the freeways are so cool. Like it's awesome.
The expressway.
Yeah, it's so realistic. And I love that. And then you go to the top of the map, and it's all mountains and snow, and it's this huge area. Cool. And it's awesome, and it looks so good. And the thing that really impressed me on this game, I think the most, is how amazing the game looked on a Series S.
Okay, yeah.
Like, the Series S, it's a powerful console. I mean, it makes games look good, but it's not on the level. It's weaker than a Series X and a base PS5.
Yeah.
So, I don't really expect my games to be looking as good as it could on those consoles.
Yep.
But this game was so breathtaking on this console. I don't know how they did it. It was insane. The game always looks amazing, but in certain times of day in the game, or especially when it's raining, the game is stunning. It looks like real life. I don't know how they even managed to do it on a Series S. I can't even imagine how it would look on a PS5 Pro or an Xbox Series X.
I can't wait for it to come to PS5 Pro so I can see the graphics alone.
It is amazing. Like I'm pretty sure it's path tracing, not ray tracing.
Yeah, it's definitely path tracing.
Unreal. Yep. The reflections are insane. It looks so, when it's raining or there's a lot of fog. It's just the most insane thing I've ever seen in a video game. It is so good looking. Tokyo City looks so good in that time. It's just, the visuals blew me away. It's the best, honestly, best looking game I've ever seen.
Wow.
To be honest.
Wow,
it's the most realistic and best looking game I think I've ever played. And the fact that it looked that good on a Series S is genuinely like an accomplishment from Playground Games. Like, it is crazy.
That's awesome. I feel like that'd be a fun video, is ranking our top 5 like best looking games ever. Yeah. That'd be a fun video.
I can already think of some other ones that I would put on the list.
Same, because I always use like some other games like Death Stranding 2 and Alan Wake as examples when talking about reviewing other games. Like, that game is so good looking, and I use those examples. So. But yeah, okay. Where else do you want to go in detail? Do you want to give? I know you have a con about races.
Yes. So in terms of, I didn't touch on this, but in terms of races, I think that maybe it's just me, but I feel like the game has a little bit too much dirt racing and too much cross country and not enough street racing.
Yeah.
For a game that takes place in Japan and has Tokyo City, I would expect a lot more street racing. I feel like, but I feel like there was more off-road racing. I was kind of getting tired at a point of off-road racing. I was like, I want to do some street race. I have so many cool street cars. I want to use them, but I'm stuck using the same 3 cars for off-road, and I was kind of getting sick of it.
Yep.
And it's just a small issue. Maybe I'm the only one who feels like that.
No, I know many. I've heard many people that have the same
Yeah.
issues that have the same thing.
But I still think the races were great.
Yeah.
And the street races were my favorite, personally.
Yeah.
I like some of the cross-country ones, too. But I'm just not a fan of dirt racing in general. I just don't prefer it over street racing. But it was still really fun.
That's fair. Okay. The big thing, this blew up on the internet, obviously. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about already. It blew up on the internet popularity.
Yeah.
And it all stemmed because of, Drivatars being very, very difficult in this game compared to past video games. You know, the whole Bowie knife 99 situation where it became such a huge meme. Where there's this one at every single person for some reason. I don't know if this is a thing in past Forza games, but for some reason in every person's game, everyone has the same Drivatars in their races.
Yeah.
And there's a couple standout handfuls like Draftful and Average Lizard and Hoki and especially Bowie Knife 99 that have sort of become internet famous for kind of being really OP and really hard to beat. It's like really, really hard, especially on some higher difficulties. How do you feel about the difficulty of the Drivatars?
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot. That is a kind of a problem with the game. The Drivatars are way too hard. Yeah. I know it's a joke, and it is pretty funny. Like the Bowie knife stuff, it's happened to me. Bowie knife is insane. He's scary. And to be honest, he's not even the scariest Drivatar. There are scarier ones. There's another one that I think is even more threatening in that game.
Is that Hoki?
Yes, Hoki is a monster. Bowie knife is nothing compared to Hoki. Hoki is a threat. But yeah, the Drivatars are a little obnoxious sometimes. Like it's unfortunately you really can't put the difficulty that high up because you just can't win a race. You literally cannot do anything. They will cheat. They will do anything they could. I've seen clips of them going off road somehow and just jumping off the road and taking a shortcut. Like I don't even know how they're doing that.
They're also really aggressive.
They're very aggressive. Like I've had multiple moments where they would just ram me off the road. There's nothing I can do, and I just have to keep rewinding until I can get rid of them.
Yep.
I think the difficulty needs to be toned down a bit. I think it was a lot.
I've heard the developers are trying to fix that.
Yeah.
They're actively, working.
I think it's really funny though. But
it is. It's spawned a huge meme I'm looking on like Twitter and like every single other video game account. It's like Capcom,
that was crazy.
Assassin's Creed. Like everyone is posting about Hoki. It was really funny. So not Hoki, Bowie Knife. Like everyone is posting about Bowie Knife. It's just some of the accounts. I'm like. The two of us were like, for like days, we're like, oh my god, this account just posted about Bowie Knife. Oh my god, this account just posted about Bowie Knife. Like, pretty wild. Where else do you want to jump to?
Well, I mean, we could talk about the cars, but there's only so much I could say.
I have it. So, the big argument with Forza games is that what makes each one different from the other? Obviously, I'm not talking about, the maps and the car selection because those are going to be different with every game, and that's obvious. But what is new in Horizon 6? Like, new features, new additions, new stuff like that isn't the map, that isn't some of the new cars, that not the story progression that we just talked about, but other maybe additions and features and mechanics that are new to the game that you have spotted and you really like or maybe don't like and all that.
I don't like the feature where, I think it's when you step on the gas and, the brake at the same time, your car spins out. Isn't that one of them, or am I wrong?
Wait, what?
I
Launch control?
Yeah, launch control. Isn't that in all the games?
I mean, it was new to Horizon 5.
Okay, yeah. I probably didn't like it there either.
Well, I have a few ones in my head that I can think of, and I want to get your opinion on each one.
Okay.
So first up, aftermarket cars. What are your thoughts on those?
Those are like the ones that you could
just buy on the road for a discounted price.
I like those actually. I don't mind buying a car at a discounted price. There's Forza Edition cars you can buy like that too. Yeah. And only get them for like 500,000. So I like that feature a lot.
Yeah, I think that's from the little I played so far. I really like driving around and seeing the aftermarket cars and always you never want to drive past one. Every single time you see one, you always got to stop. Check it out, what it is, how much it costs, all that stuff. I feel like that is just good game design, and that is good of getting people invested, and people aren't just disregarding them. I've never discarded them. I don't think you have disregarded them either. They're just fun. Another thing that I think is really cool is the Forza Edition cars.
Yeah.
Unlike the Forza Edition cars have been around since like I think Horizon 3 was when they were introduced. So they've been around for a long, long while in the Horizon series now, and even made their way to the Motorsport series as well. But they're taking on a whole new form in this game, where in past games they were just the same car that you would find, like for example, I remember Horizon 3, like the big Forza Edition, Horizon Edition car that everyone, including myself, wanted was the 4GT, the 2017 4GT Horizon Edition. Everyone wanted that one. It was like the most sought after Horizon Edition, at least for me and my friends. And so I remember, but there was nothing different about the actual car when you got it from the normal 4GT, just that it had a tune on it that you could just put on a normal 4GT, and it had customization that was the same as a normal 4GT. The only thing that was different was that each Horizon Edition gets you like a different XP boost or something like that, like a different sort of thing. Like some gets you XP boost, some gets you more races, more credits on races, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And what's different about this game is that each Horizon Edition has customization on the car that you cannot do normally. So, for example, the crazy one, the one that's really fun, is the Subaru BRZ Horizon Edition, which in this game the Horizon Edition has a full-on lift kit, where it's basically been turned into a monster truck. And you obviously cannot do that to the normal Subaru BRZ in the game, but the Horizon Edition, you get to do that, and it's just so cool. I love that. A couple other ones I can think of that are really stand out. There's a Ford F-350 Super Duty, like that big truck that you can also get a lifted version on that you can't do normal customization. That looks insane. There is a stanced, fully dropped truck that's like really low to the ground, looks super cool. There's an off-road Dodge Viper. There's like a ton of really cool Forza Edition cars. A Mercedes 190E, like just a ton of cool ones, and I really like that they are very much different, so it kind of makes you really want to get them. I think that's super, super cool.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to get your opinion on, another sort of addition is, and I know you probably haven't touched it that much. The multiplayer obviously has been around for Horizon games for a while now, and this time the new big thing for multiplayer is spec racing, where basically you get every single person in the lobby has the same car, same tune, everything. So everyone has the same stock car, so it isn't about the car like it is normally in multiplayer, where it's not about like who has the fastest car and who has the most OP car with the most OP tune and all that stuff. It's instead who is the best driver, who is really good. It's all about skill, and I really, really like that. A lot of times when I will play, I've played that just because I think spec racing is such a cool idea. What are your opinions on spec racing?
Yeah, I haven't done it too much, but I played it a few times, and I like the idea that it's not about the car, but it's about the skill. I think that's what it should be.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you're playing it, you just get people crashing into
I mean, that's
But that is every race, and that's why I don't really like to touch Forza Online that much.
That's
but
fair.
From the spec racing I did play, I thought I really liked the concept of it. The one thing I don't like about spec racing, I don't think it's just spec racing, I think it's just online races altogether, is that when you hit a wall, for some reason,
it ghosts you and slows you down.
You get slowed down.
That's in past Forza games.
I do not like that.
It's mainly just it's kind of.
I think that sucks.
It's meant to be like a penalty of like, they don't want you to be like flying into a wall at full speed.
But it's happened to me. I've been taking a turn, not hitting the wall, and then I get slammed into the wall. And then I get slowed.
Yeah, no,
that's not fair.
That definitely sucks. But sadly, the game just can't discern between whether someone's knocking you into a wall for speed, or if you yourself is just not deciding not to brake and flying into a wall full speed, hoping to get other players or a wall to be your brake instead of you braking yourself. So yeah, that's kind of why that's there. It is annoying, but yeah, it just exists that way. Another thing there's a couple of other smaller features I can think about that are new to the game. You have treasure cars.
Yeah, I do like treasure cars a lot.
That's very cool.
I don't think I like them as much as barn finds.
Well, obviously, barn finds are just special.
Yeah, but I do like the idea. I hope they bring it back in the next one.
I think that's a really smart idea. I think people love barn finds. It's always something that is like a favorite of Forza. I mean, it's been around since Horizon 1. So obviously barn finds are a very big part of the Horizon franchise, and they're just always great. They're always a really real blast to find them. I've had fun trying to find the barn finds with you, or watching you find them. And same with treasure cars. Those are really also fun to find. Other one, what else is new? I can think of, oh yes, one thing I want to ask you. The whole new thing of sort of the open world sort of existing where you can do races and more specifically time trials and drag races while in the open world. In past Forza games, if you wanted to do a drag roll up to one of the drag strips on the map, or the one racetrack that was actually in Horizon 5, which I guess will bring me to another point right after that. In past Horizon 5, if you want to go to any of the drag strips, you would have to load into a drag race, and it takes a little while to load into a race and pick your car and all that stuff, and also go against other drivatars or play with other players. And if you want to do drive around the racetrack in Horizon 5, you just drive around open world without any time trial or testing your time, or you just do the Horizon festival race. You do the actual race. You load into the race, which also takes time. In this game, it's very different, where there's multiple different racetracks on that, which is very cool. I love how they're adding a lot of racetracks. There's in the Forza Horizon 5, there's only one racetrack in that game, and in every other Forza Horizon game before that, there were no racetracks in the map. So it's really cool to have multiple racetracks, and they, at least from what I've seen, they all seem really, really cool. They're all much more smaller grassroots races. You're not going to expect no Nürburgring or a Monza or a Laguna Seca or any kind of big racetrack that you'd find in real life or another sort of racing game. Don't go in expecting a Nürburgring, like I said. These are much smaller sort of grassroots racetracks that really fit in with the map, and I think that is really cool. And so if in this game you just pull up to it, you drive right across the start line, and you immediately start the time trial, and you just go around and you go every single lap. You can test your time with your car, try to get better times. It's really nice to test your cars out, have fun beating other players' times and all that stuff. Forza games, same with drag strips, where you just load up, you lock your car in place, and you do the drag strip. I really like that feature. What do you think about it?
Oh yeah, I think it's really cool. It's every time I'm at any drag strip, especially the one at the Horizon Festival, there's always players there testing their times, wanting to do it, and I think that's awesome. You don't have to load in or anything. You could just go up to the thing, press the button to start it, and then you could just drag race other people, or you can just drag race yourself. I think that's really fun to test the cars and do that without having to load or anything. I think it's a great feature. I think it's awesome, and I also think that the time attack racetracks are also really great too. To also test how fast a car can go. And all that, and there's a lot of them on the map, so I think that's really great. I think that was definitely a much needed feature. And
then the sort of final thing I want to ask you before I let you take it away with any other final things you have, but that is, since a big reason why we wanted to wait a month to this video was Forza games are updated every month, every week, with new cars, new festival playlists. The whole thing is festival playlists. That's the thing, where every single week you've got. They're not new races. They're not new races to the game. They're just pre-existing races, but with a certain car in a certain class and a certain every kind of thing. Not a certain car, but a certain car parameter that you have to have, a certain car class, top of A class, top of S1 class, all that. And you get 3 races in a championship, and obviously championship points, all that stuff. And you get a new reward car, or you do a couple pre-selected PR stunts, and you get some wheel spins and all that stuff, and that has existed since Horizon 4 now. The more points you get, some cars you unlock, some new cars, some exclusive cars, all that stuff. So now that we have gone almost fully through a full festival playlist, we are on the spring season, the spring week right now, so that's all 4 weeks of the festival playlist done with, completed for the first season. What are your thoughts on the festival playlist in this game?
I think it's cool. I really like how every week the map changes. I especially love winter. I think the map in snow looks amazing. I think it makes the map look even better somehow. And the game look even better somehow. But I like festival playlists. I don't know if it's something I'm going to come back to every week, but it's something I'll come back to when I have nothing else to play. And I'm like, what, why not? Let's grind Forza. So, it's definitely something that is easy to grind sometimes. I like how there's a bunch of free cars you can get, a lot of wheel spins, and just a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's great. And, like, I like that there's a feature, or every week you have to, like, find, there's a picture, and it's similar to treasure cars where you have to find, like, a treasure box that has a lot of coins in it. I think that's a really cool feature.
Yeah, no, with Horizon 4 and 5, I would play. I think, honestly, the festival playlist, I know a lot of people don't like it because of, if you miss 1 week, you miss that car for a while, and it's sort of like that FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, I think the festival playlist is one of the best additions the Forza Horizon series has ever had. I've played every single game from Horizon 1 to Horizon 6, basically, and, playing Horizon 1 and 2, both, and also 3. All 3 fantastic games. I, grew up with Horizon 2 and then going back to Horizon 1 much later and loving it as well. And then Horizon 3 being like one of my favorite games of all time and probably my favorite Horizon just for like memories alone. And so, but they never really like, after like a few weeks of really playing in the month or two for me for a Horizon game, where it's usually after a month or two, then I start to kind of be a little bit like, all right, what else is there to do? And I don't have like a reason to come back every week. With the great thing that Horizon 6 added was the Horizon Festival playlist, and it gave me a reason to come back every week. And so I would end up playing Forza Horizon 4 every single week from when it came out to when Horizon 5 came out. And then same with Horizon 5 up to Horizon 6. I played it every single week. I love Horizon 5, and I think that is really cool that they do that, and I can't wait to jump into Horizon 6 when it releases on PlayStation, because that is a game that I'm going to play every single week. Like, after the first 2 months of it being out and me get to experience and all that stuff, I will be on it every single week. Just to do the festival playlist, even if I have all the cars and all that stuff. Just because I think it's a great addition. I like when they add it, and they add more to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's always a nice thing. Now I want to kind of open it up to you, and if you have any more cons, any more pros, any smaller things like radio stations, stuff like that you want to shout out, just all that stuff.
Yeah, so in terms of radios, there's not much more I can say because I don't think I have another big con to say. But I think that the radio station is a big improvement over 5.
Yes.
I at first didn't like the radio station, but now after a month, it's definitely grown on me. I think it's great. There's a lot of songs I like, a ton of songs I like. I think that it's a great station. Not sure if it's on the level of 3 and 4. But yeah, I think that it's close to maybe 4.
I think a lot of that comes down to also just nostalgia.
Yeah.
Based because I think of Horizon 3's playlist, and it's that was the first time playing a video game that I fell in love with music from that video game alone. And so the Horizon series, why I love it, big reason why I love it so much is that I've been able to discover so many new artists and songs that I've never heard of before, and I would have never found if it were not for Forza Horizon. That's why I love, a lot of people will say, I wish there were more recognizable songs or big songs from big artists, and there's always a couple select big songs from, there's always a few in each Horizon game. There's a couple in this game, and I think they are definitely better than, I guess, the bigger name songs they had in Horizon 5, which I thought were really weird choices.
Yeah.
Industry Baby and that Dua Lipa song,
yes.
Nah. Yeah. Weird. It's just weird. This game, definitely much better choice with the bigger songs. But what I love about the radio stations in this game is not the big songs. It's the smaller ones and the bands that I've never heard of. And there's a lot. I think this is a great playlist. I think it's a great radio station. Playing Horizon 5, I ended up using Spotify while playing all the time on my PlayStation because I know my Xbox when I played it on my Xbox a lot because I just didn't really like the radio stations that are the music in Horizon 5. I thought there were maybe a select 5 good songs, and the rest were kind of really range from meh to really, really bad. Some songs I was no, I cannot listen to that at all. It was just really bad. And so what's really nice about this game is I don't feel at least from listening and going on Spotify and playing all the songs on all the playlists that they made, I feel I don't need to use Spotify, my own playlists for the game. I feel I can just listen to the radio stations forever and enjoy it. And I like that. I don't know if it'll ever beat the radio stations in Horizon 3 and 1. I think those are the two best in the series. When Horizon 1 obviously has songs that have become some of the most iconic 2010 songs of all time. You know, that was a playlist of a generation, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then Horizon 3 just is iconic for me, at least, and just so many songs I love.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Horizon 6 is really, really good. It's definitely a step up with the radio stations. Anything else? Other things, tidbits, pros, other stuff you want to shout out? And also, then at the end, once you feel like you've said everything, give a review score.
Yeah. So, I don't know if there's anything else I can say. I can't really think of anything because, I mean, I just love the game so much.
Yeah.
I think that it's near flawless. It's not flawless, but it's close.
Yeah. I don't know if a video game will ever be flawless. I think no matter how good the video game, I think every video game is going to have something.
Yeah, totally. But I think that might be it. I mean, in terms of like the car selection, I think the car selection is great. There's a lot of cars I really love there. I love the Forza Edition cars. They're some of the most fun cars. I have a few of them, and they're some of the most fun cars in the game. My personal favorite car in the game is the Monster Truck Subaru.
That's so cool.
It's the best car in the game, in my opinion. Cool. But yeah, I think I said all I could on this game. I think the game's fantastic. I'm gonna be playing this game for probably until Forza Horizon 7 comes out in a few years. So yeah, we'll be playing this game for the next few years and enjoying it. And if I had to review it and give it a score, I would probably give it a 9.5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Close to a 10.
Yeah. Obviously, I can't put a review score on it yet because I don't have the full game. I'm on PlayStation. Hopefully, it is going to come to PlayStation in the next few months. I'm thinking probably around September. I'm hoping not September, actually, because the hell that is going to be September game releases and how much there is of it.
Mm-hmm.
But... I hope that maybe by August we can get this. I feel like that'd be a good time for this, just to get it out before the big rush of fall releases. Please just play our games, please, before November. Just please, because I really want to. Just please not September or October. No, maybe October's fine, but September, nope, bad idea. And November, I'm fully locked in on GTA, and I will probably not. Even as much as I love Forza, it's my favorite game franchise, Horizon. I don't know if I'll get off GTA to play it for at least a little while. So, just a couple of questions I wanted to ask you. With obviously such a high praise of this game, and obviously how much you loved it, and seems like most people, especially critics, in it being the highest rated game of the year currently, do you think this game has a chance of being nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards at the end of the year?
I think it has a chance, and I think it will be nominated.
You think it will be?
I think not only should it be nominated, I think it will be nominated.
Okay.
I think the game is too good not to be nominated, and I think that there's going to be a problem if it isn't nominated, to be honest.
I so thought that Forza Horizon 5 should have been nominated. I think that deserves to be nominated, especially out of all the nominees that year. Honestly, I don't know if it was a hot take or not, but it wasn't the greatest year of nominees that year in 2021 of the Game Awards. I think the winner, if I remember that year, was It Takes Two, and the other nominees were like Ratchet and Clank, which was like the runner-up, and let me see. But yeah, do you really think it has a chance?
I think it's almost guaranteed. I think it should be guaranteed of being nominated. I think that most likely it's not going to win because of how the competition this year is insane. And I think that there are a few games I can think of that have a way higher chance of winning.
There's a couple, at least three I can think of.
Yeah,
but
I think it's going to get nominated.
I can't think of any more they can beat that deserve to be nominated more than it. I think Playground Games deserves their flowers. I think, after, there's very few video game franchises and developers that have had 6 amazing games in a row and 6 racing games in a row, or games in a row that have defined a whole genre. Every single Forza game has defined the racing game genre and added more to it and all that stuff. And there is very few developers and franchises that have done that. And I think Playground Games really deserves their flowers, especially for how people thought after Horizon 5 they couldn't do better. This was like the greatest racing game ever made. Many critics said. Many critics touted it as one of just the greatest games ever made. It is one of the highest rated games of all time. It is a very well beloved and very well rewarded game. So many people thought, oh, they can't do better, but they somehow did do better.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone will agree that most people have agreed that like Horizon 6 is miles better than Horizon 5, and Horizon 5 was a masterpiece, and this game is even better. I think Playground Games deserves their flowers, and Horizon 6 deserves to be nominated. I don't think it, like you said, I don't think it's gonna win. I can think of, Resident Evil Requiem and 007 First Light. I think are two games that I think do have a higher chance of winning, even though those are both fantastic games. I think they have a higher chance. And obviously it's not out yet, but GTA is also obviously the big the elephant in the room when it comes to Game of the Year nominees this year. But yeah, I was a big believer that Horizon 5 should have at least been nominated. And honestly, looking at what were the nominees in 2021, I think it could have won. The other nominees included It Takes Two took the award home, which is a fantastic game.
It was a great game.
There was also Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, a game I loved. I thought it was a great game. You had Deathloop.
Yeah.
I played it. Yeah, it's good. Metroid Dread, very well liked and well loved side of Metroidvania. You had Psychonauts 2. I think the only Xbox Game Studios nominated game from Double Fine, which is just like, at least they have one Game of the Year nominated game. Xbox, I feel like every year you get a new PlayStation game nominated, but only one for Xbox, and it was Psychonauts 2. So Xbox, take that into account. Don't get rid of Double Fine.
Yeah,
they're your best studio when it comes to getting you award nominations. And then finally Resident Evil Village.
Yeah,
which I think would have been your personal choice.
That definitely would have been my pick, but it's not like the strongest Resident Evil game. I love that game to death, but I don't know if it like critically beats It Takes Two.
Yeah, no. But I think Forza could have had a high chance of winning that year if it was nominated. I think too many people overlook racing games, but I feel like now with the popularity of Horizon 5 and going in then Horizon 6, how it was even more popular, I think it has a high chance. I think it'll be nominated as well.
I do too. Yeah.
I think it'll be a really fun video. I have a couple future video ideas for like the weekend next week. But one idea would be kind of now that we are halfway through the year, kind of building out our predictions, our early predictions. Obviously, later in the year when we get close to the Game Awards, we'll do our big prediction video for what's going to be nominated. But I want to do a little early prediction for just what we think will be the 6 games nominated for Game of the Year. I think that'd be a fun little video to make of what's already come out, what is coming out later this year, and kind of tab it all together and see what are the 6 that will make it, or at least our predictions. But, and kind of track throughout the year, this game they predicted, is it good enough or no? Because we've already had multiple examples of that throughout the year of games that we thought would be nominated, and then it's like, it came out and it's so good, but it's like, no, just not the level. But, yeah, that is all. Any final things you want to say about Horizon 6?
I love it. I'm excited to be playing it for the next 2 years, and I'm ready for Forza Horizon 7.
No, don't say that yet. No, we do not need that yet. They hopefully will take, I think this game
take all the time they
5
need.
years. Yeah.
I think we'll have a long break.
That's totally fine.
I think that's fine, because I think it's smart to build this game out.
Oh my god, yeah. And especially with, us getting Fable coming in February, and that also being from Playground Games. I know a different studio in Playground Games, but still Playground Games. Cannot wait for that. And look, I think if that game comes out and is as good as people think it is going to be and as good as it looks, which also many people, including myself, think that's going to be a Game of the Year competitor, geez, Playground Games.
Yeah, they're cooking.
They got to be put in the GOAT talks.
Yeah.
They have to be put in the GOAT talks.
We might see them get 2 games nominated. I don't think we've ever seen that.
Well, not 2 years in a row. No, not this year.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because it got delayed.
Fable,
Well, 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. 2 years in a row of Playground Games. And could win next year.
Yeah.
Fable, so we could see them get nominated this year and then win next year. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's going to be all for today's video. Let us know down in the comments below what you think of Horizon 6. How did you love it as much as we did? How are you enjoying it? All that stuff. And then any future video ideas. But yeah, so I think this week I want to maybe do a video on the Game of the Year early predictions. Another fun one I want to do is look back on, now that we are also halfway through the year, look back on our favorite games, our top 5 favorite games of the year so far, and also look on forward to our top 5 most anticipated games coming out later this year, since we have a very, very, very busy catalog of games coming out in September and October and November and much, much more. So that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and that's all. Goodbye.